1907. Volunteers were required to serve Queen and country across the water in France and Belgium in the autumn of 2008. The regiment would be called the Silcoates Pals, and follow in the illustrious footsteps of the vintages of 2004 and 2006. The response was overwhelming from day one, from all 4 battalions: Youngs, Evans, Moores and Spencers. Spencers especially provide an eclectic range of volunteers. The King Ladies, Colin Nichols, with her unusual choice of uniform. The vaudeville entertainer Tattersall, who showed terrific dexterity with the piano, guitar and his mighty organ.
Cheers, thanks.
Most menacing of all was a new breed of warrior, lean, mean, bristling with intent, a stormtrooper armed with a vast array of guns, Sergeant Boris Fisher. The officials were all of the highest quality, at least in their own minds. General Verinder, VC and Bar, 14 years in the field and a veteran of Rome, Paris and Club Carrez, newly liberated from the life-sapping experience of Lord Kitchener-Shears. Major Franks is explosive of temperament, with a minute grasp of detail and a ridiculous pair of white shoes. Second Lieutenant Hughes, a Machiavellian schemer with a lust for power, but a superb orator in the mode of his mentor, Lord Fox of Ossett.
You've got a superiority complex.
Yes. What all 3 shared was a love for alcohol and a desire to keep Kitchener-Shears firmly at arm's length. Support was being provided by the old incomprehensible Corporal Owen, whose depth of courage was matched only by the depth of his appetite. Staff Nurse Brindle had returned after years sabbatical, ready and willing to involve herself in every aspect of the operation. And finally, Staff Orderly Cole, famous the Empire over for enormous handwriting. All was ready, the coach was filled, excitement crackled in the air. The only concern remained, shaking off, quite literally, the old warhorse Kitchener-Shears, desperate to have one last crack at the enemy. The last seen on his knees in the lay-by, tears streaming down his face, clutching trench mats to his heaving chest. All seemed to go well on the first night. The assault was led by the Barnsley Pals, Fife and Nicholson. Their planning was a curious hybrid of the unlimited drinking objective and the limited objective of boy grabbing, otherwise known as bite and hold. The infantry became distracted by the rhythmic beats of the music hall favourite, Oops Up, Side Your Head, Oops Up, Side Your Head. Suddenly Major Franks was left dangerously exposed to a near-fatal crossfire from 2 wild-eyed Boches determined to inflict terrible damage to his reputation. At this crucial juncture, with only Nurse Brindley protecting his rear, Franks and the entire Pals battalion was showed a stopping blow delivered by General Verinder, whose motioning of a cutting hand across his throat, moving slowly across his throat, eased tension somewhat. Lieutenant Hughes sent an immediate telegram to GCHQ at Renthorpe, claiming the credit, but later had to retract when the truth became common knowledge. Otherwise, all was calm, and the Pals returned to their billets content, in the knowledge that an early baptismal fire had been passed with flying colours, but fully aware that stiffer tasks awaited them on the following day. Day 2. Gas. Slowly a green, foul smell of gas emerged from the coach. Sorry everyone, it's the Amstels, apologised Owen. Emerging from Hangover Corner, he made a rapid assault on the toilet redoubt, only to find his way blocked by Conor Mazzarella, laying down some seriously deep mines. The first contact with the enemy went incredibly well. They had been promised a walkover, and so it proved. One was captured without a single casualty, and everybody was in the mess enjoying the wine for the officers and hot chocolate for the other ranks. And a phone call came from the French HQ. "Who the F are you?" "What do you mean?" cried General V. "We're in Mons." "You're in Mons in France, not Mons in Belgium, you idiots." All eyes turned to Driver Pete, known to one and all as Pistol. He mumbled something about the sat-nav and the French being bad drivers, and the sun was in his eyes. Major Franks eyed him coldly and warned him things had to improve, or else. Day 3, recriminations and resignations. The night had passed with little incident, apart from baggers going AWOL. Only intervention of 2nd Lieutenant Hughes saved him from a court-martial. The General V had never been in such a state of high dudgeon. "You baggers are in bad odour with the regiment, do you understand?" No, said Baggers. Lieutenant Hughes muttered something about PTSD and bungled Badder's way to the safety of the second floor to the boys' corridor. Ghastly by day, ghostly by night, the rottenest place in the chateau. It was on the day of the big push, not just for Connor, but for the whole platoon. A huge assault was to be made up Sausage Valley. The attack was to be preceded by a 7-day verbal bombardment led by the Pals' big voices, Lucy D, Grace Big House, and Hella Carlisle. Rats left the enemy trenches in their droves, and all seemed set fair. However, the loss of Francie and Owen on a decoy manoeuvre in the Anchor Valley left Driver Pete without a calming hand on the steering wheel, and he manoeuvred the Pals, taking Mally miles away from the front line. General V had his head in his hands, weeping bitter tears. Francie and Owen didn't help by saying how wonderful the dummy manoeuvre had gone, how great the coffee had been in the cafe, and weren't the flowers lovely. Day 4, the bog of war. Having failed in the song, the Pals were determined to make amends. Morning, gorgeous. What are you doing today? Asked Private Nicholson. Second Lieutenant Hughes replied, today I'm going to take you up the East Salient. Nicholson, looking flush, replied, woo, I thought you'd never ask. The attack was going well, apart from the blockage of Pooh Corner, caused once again by Conor Mazzarella. Inability to time his bottom explosions. The Pals tank was filled with a noxious gas, and then the door handle fell off, leaving Nero Donahue cut off from the rest of the platoon with nothing to help her but a cigarette. The operation as a whole was a success. Eva was captured, and on the way back to GCHQ at Everingham, Driver Pete fell foul of the dreaded sat-nav and ended up reversing precariously in a field, narrowly avoiding a lamppost and an electric cable. Safe return, the troops returned happy to base at the chateau. The sing-song ensured. The troops were all entertained by General V and Hughes with the renowned musical ditties, Head of History, 500 Miles, and a new number, 10 Things I Love About Becky O'Donoghue. Amstelone was in terrific form with the Road to Sunderland, the best days of our lives. But the star of the show was undoubtedly Major Tattersall, was having a tremendous trip and produced numerous crowd pleasers such as Wonderwall and The Script, all available to view on his YouTube website. Day 6, leave. It's been a quiet night on the Chateau sector in the front, apart from some fraternising involving Privates Wilson, that caused some discussion at the breakfast table. The rooms had been cleared in double quick time, and Private McConey had successfully manoeuvred an unfeasibly large suitcase onto the coach. It had been an extremely successful campaign, with the Pals undergoing a very steep learning curve and emerging as a leaner, fitter fighting force. Having joined up together as raw recruits in September 2004, this band of brothers and sisters had grown together, surviving their various commanding officers, Field Marshal Mills, Kitchener Shields, Biker Fenn, and Pye. Some of the original recruits had not lasted the course. Private Mudd and Miller, the fresh blood had been injected into the Pals' views as people with Blonsvich and Wilson. There was representatives of ancient Silcoates dynasties, such as Private Bushy Bullis and Private Carter. Hard lessons had been learned about creeping barrages and enfilading fire, and the Pals had waded knee-deep in tears at Timecop as emotions ran high. New bonds had been forged, especially between Private Mazzarella and the toilet. And the old friendships had been strengthened as they survived the heat of battle and the smell wafting from the boys' corridor. Whatever happened to the Pals in the future, they'd be happy in the knowledge there would be a corner of a foreign field that would be over Silcoates. This was the Silcoates Pals in 2008. This is their story. We really need to give Mr. Franks a clap because he wrote all of that wonderful history. It's very well done.